Hello friends, it's time for our weekly reading. Remember that runes do not predict the future. These are just for us to use to meditate and think about, maybe something that might be impacting your life, right? So if this resonates with you, that is awesome. So I'm going to put our energy in and just ask Spirit to guide us with some things that we should think about this week. I'll be using the Celtic cross spread. So we're picking our present stone now, the one that goes in the middle of the spread. Celtic cross is done a few different ways by various people. There's no right or wrong way because these are meditation pieces, right? So if you have rune stones, just, do your own thing. Okay. Our center stone. I don't know if you can, these aren't the greatest. There we go. And then we look at, that's Kinez, by the way. Then we pick a stone that represents the past. So what is influencing our present? We have Labre. Hands are in the way. Then we look at forces that we can't control. Like what is affecting the situation that's beyond our control. We look at what influences do impact, like things that we can do that will impact the situation, what's within our control. The Infinity Stone, I don't know if you can see it. These are really hard to read on here. Came up in my brain. And then, what's the outcome? What could be a potential outcome? Berkano. See the bee. All right, let's jump in and see what these mean. So, if you've been here before, that I like to use my book. This is my book. I like to use my book just because I don't want to miss anything that might speak to you. So, I, of course, know looking at them what they mean, but I always like to look at the book anyway, even though I've been doing this a long time, just because there might be something that jumps out at me that Spirit really wants to get me to think about. So, let's look at Kinez first. Kinez translates to torch. That's what this stone means, torch. And it's in its correct position. It's not inverted. And it means vision, creativity, inspiration, vitality, improvement, hope, passion, light, enlightenment, teaching and learning, ancestral knowledge, warmth and illumination, creativity and clarity, controlled fire, spiritual strength. So this week, as we look to the week, as we look at the week, we look at our spiritual journey. This is very much a spiritual stone and a strength stone that's saying, like, you're on the right path, like this, like something is being lit up for you and something is coming into light, and you have all the gifts that you need from Spirit to stay on this path and to embrace the path, right? And ancestral wisdom and the wisdom of Spirit is here with you. So this is the place that you're in. You're in a good place spiritually, energetically. And so what's in our past, Lagos, which means water, what is in our past that's going to help us, or that has kind of brought us to this moment? So just look up. The pages are very fragile in this book, and because I don't like to flip too fast. Come here, Lagos, where are you? And they also stick together, and I have to be really careful when I'm pulling them apart. I know you're right in here somewhere. There we go. Intuition, emotion, flow, renewal, dreams, hopes, and fears. Water, ocean, lakes, rivers, wells. Flow, supernatural entities. Underworld and afterlife. Wake up, repressed personality. Trust inner knowledge, manipulate fear, no reason to restrain yourself, travel over sea, inner journey, depth of soul, crossing mental, physical boundaries, protection, being in tune with emotions. It didn't come up inverted. So pretty much what Spirit is saying, I think, or the sense that I'm getting, is that you've been on a journey to get to this spot. You have been on a path to get to this spiritual place, and you know it. Like, you know that you're on a spiritual path, and if you're watching this channel, that's true, right? You're seeking out something, and you've been on the right path in different parts of your life. So you're on the right path. And so this isn't brand new for you. It's always sort of been brewing within you. And here you are, right? Now, what are things in the past, in your path, that you cannot control? What are things that, that you really just don't have any bearing over, but to just be aware of them? Let's get there. The pagers are so fragile. So two stones look very much alike, and I want to talk about them. So this is Iwaz, and Sawilo looks very much like it. A Sawilo is more like an S. It's got more of a curvy shape, almost like the San Azoro. And then this one, and they're often confused. But this is the symbol of yew tree, right? And so there's no inverted position to it, and it means chaos over here. Balance, enlightenment, death of a path, wisdom, the world tree, wisdom of the path, trees connected to the underworld, strong, firm, flexible, the past growing into the future, apples, the fruit of the dead, apples, immortality, hidden secrets, deep knowledge, spiritual endurance, transition to a new life, and bravery will be needed. So if you are on a spiritual path, which I am, if you've been and watched any of the other videos in this channel, you know that I grew up in a very religious household. I was going to be a nun, as went so far as to speak to a mother superior, who said she didn't think it was my path. Wise woman indeed. I am not religious really anymore. I'm very spiritual, but not necessarily religious. And so it's always been in me. I've always been drawn to spiritual things. And I think I'm on the right path now, right? And helping people understand that you can be both spiritual and Christian without being religious, right? And that other religious paths like Judaism and other major world religions and pagan worship and things like that, if they bring about truth and light and love, that's really the goal, right? That's God's goal, is love, right? So we can all coexist and we can all be friends, right? And learning about witchcraft doesn't make you a witch, and witchcraft isn't inherently evil. Witchcraft isn't devil worshipping, no matter what they taught you in church, right? So it doesn't mean that you're on that path just because you learn about it, right? So you can't help where you are. You're meant to be where you are in your spiritual path. You're meant to be here. Spirit has you here watching this video for a reason. You can't help that, because you are called to it. Your soul is called to it. So it might require the death of an old path. For me, that was letting go of the church, which I was so much a part of for a good portion of my life, right? But I've let it go, and I appreciate it more, right? I have no anger against the church, no anger against what I was taught. That is the teachings of the denomination I was in, the Anglican Church. I have no anger against them, and I learned a lot, but I believe that Spirit has me on this path, and that's okay. What I can control, I know these don't really show. This is the infinity symbol, which of course isn't what it's called. Get there. The Daggett stone means dawn. Literally, means dawn. So it means awakening, certainty, illumination, completion, hope, existence, memory, consciousness, enlightenment, old world to new world. Remember that was in our previous stone, right? Iwaz said the same thing. Like, this is the death of a path, you're into a new world. Cycle of life, ingenuity, what has always been, new beginning, new worldview, unbreakable, no start, no end, timeless existence, learning, boundless potential, beyond cultural construction, sunrise, twilight, sunset, old self to new self. Seeing that again. Transition, hope is your best weapon. Fresh beauty and creativity, enthusiasm, the center, the flowing of the cycle. So you can control, how the cycle goes. You can let it flow through you, or you can put a stop to it and say, I'm not ready. I don't want to know. I don't want to think about these things. I want to stick with what I've been taught, and I'm good with that. You control the flow of this ancestral knowledge. You control the flow of spirit through you. You can block, your chakras can be blocked. You can block, whatever comes to you, or you can let it flow through you and see where it goes. And Berkano, and I haven't even read the book yet, Berkano means birth. So you're birthing something new, maybe in your soul, maybe in your heart and soul. All of this, the spiritual path is a new beginning for you. But let's read it because we want to be complete. And in case anything speaks specifically to you. Where are you, Berkano? Need a better way to read this book. The pages all stick together, and I can't get through them. Oh, come here. Where are you? Come here. All right. Have to like they're stuck together, so you can't really flip through the book. You have to peel the pages apart. I love the book, and it brings me great joy to play with it, but it also takes forever to flip through it. All right, so Berkano translates to birch tree, and it has no, it does have an inversion, but our stone is not inverted. Femininity, fertility, healing, birth, regeneration, relationship to higher power, family, business, development of self, transformation into new focus, be clear and control precise motives, self-development, development of new life. What a great reading. So basically, you're on a spiritual path. You are been called to something. You have it in you. It's been with you. You know it. Even if you've ignored it, you know that you've been called, right? And, the things that you can't control, that you've been called. Because the Spirit calls all of us. And so you're here. This is where you are. And the flow is coming. The flow is coming to you. And you can choose to step away. You can choose that because you have free will. So you don't have to embrace this journey if you don't want to. But if you do, you're going to create something beautiful and new. So as you go through this week, think about your spiritual path. Think about who you are in the universe and how you're energetically tied to God, to the life force, whatever you call it, right? Whatever you call that spirit force. How are you called to celebrate light and love in this human form? What a great reading. I am wishing all of you all the very best in light and love this week, and I will catch you every day for your daily Rune pull. Be well. Bye-bye.